The land of Egypt stood on the edge of destiny. After years of war, loss, and struggle, Pharaoh Ahmose stood at the gates of Avaris, the last bastion of Hyksos rule. The air was thick with tension. Behind those walls were the remnants of a century of foreign domination. Avaris was no ordinary city. It was a fortress, a symbol, and a challenge. Tall stone walls surrounded it. Canals defended it. Within, the Hyksos king, Ahmose, gathered his remaining forces of charioteers, archers, foreign mercenaries ready for a final stand. Ahmose knew this would be no short battle. But he also knew this: if Avaris fell, Egypt would rise. He did not rush. He laid siege. He cut off the city's lifelines. No food, no reinforcements, no escape. He built barricades, towers, and ramps. He surrounded the city with fire and will. Inside, Ahmose grew desperate. He sent envoys to foreign lands, begging for support, but none came. The world was watching, waiting to see if Egypt could reclaim itself. The siege lasted months. Assaults came day and night. The Nile ran red with battle. The Hyksos defended fiercely, but the resolve of Ahmose was unmatched. His army, forged in years of war, moved with precision and unity. His generals, loyal and wise, executed each phase of the siege with deadly patience. One by one, the outer defenses fell. Grain stores were torched. Wells were poisoned. Morale inside Avaris began to rot. And then, the gates broke. Ahmose's soldiers poured into the city. Street by street, they fought. Fires raged. Banners were torn. The people of Avaris cried out, some in fear, some in relief. The final confrontation came in the palace. Ahmose, once proud and feared, now cornered and broken, was captured. With the fall of Avaris, the Hyksos' rule in Egypt ended. But Ahmose did not stop there. He pursued the fleeing remnants of the Hyksos eastward, beyond the borders of Egypt, into the lands of Canaan. At Sharon, he laid siege again, and this time for years, ensuring that the Hyksos would never return. He was not content with victory. He wanted security. With Egypt's enemies crushed, Ahmose returned home not just as king, but as liberator. He restored temples in Thebes, Memphis, and beyond. He granted lands to loyal soldiers and rewarded the priests who had kept the faith. He commissioned grand monuments, not to his own glory, but to the gods who had guided him. He restructured the administration, revived the economy, and reopened trade routes with the Levant, Euboea, and the Mediterranean. Under his rule, Egypt entered a golden age. The 18th dynasty, which he founded, would become one of the most powerful and prosperous in history. All because a boy who once buried his father and brother rose with fire in his heart and steel in his hand. Ahmose was no longer just a name. He was legend. The warrior who saved Egypt. The pharaoh who began an empire. The one who reminded a nation who they were. And so the war ended, but Egypt's greatness had only just begun.